Hello and welcome to How Not to Run an Agile Transformation, a very, very short presentation for senior leaders to help them get their heads around how they should not go about running an Agile Transformation, even though it's the very thing your consultants will be telling you that this is what you need to do. So I've also called this presentation How Not to Burn £10 million Delivering Little or No Change Under the Guise of Agile. Because there is some research out there that says a huge amount of change projects fail. And, Agile transformation is no different. And in fact, in many cases, Agile transformation results are even worse than traditional change. But anyway, now's not the time or place to talk about that. What's important for you, though, is what's happening in your organisation. So look, where does it all start? Well, look, Agile usually starts as a set of pilot projects, piloting the Agile process. But the problem with that is that that's going to happen in small, isolated parts of the organisation. It's not an organisational-wide thing. And what will happen is, hopefully, you'll test to see if your pilots were successful. Did they deliver on these four aspects? Did they deliver business value quicker, deliver on time, deliver on budget, and did they deliver happy customers? Because if so, everyone's going to be very happy. Yeah? If not, then it's back to the drawing board. But let's just make this a huge assumption at the minute that yes, Agile worked, and Agile worked in these number of instances. So what's going to happen next? Well, buoyed on by their success, the managers decide that it's time to, wait for it, drum roll, scale Agile. Now look, this expression should put the fear of God into many of you listening and watching this presentation right now, because scaling Agile means what we're going to do is we're going to take this out across the whole organisation. But what does it actually mean? Does it mean we're going to teach Agile process to the executive team? Are we going to get the executive team standing in stand-ups every day or having retrospectives and da-da-da? Well, maybe, I don't know, but it will all depend. But if we look at what we mean by scaling Agile is really about delivering organisational agility in my world, and that organisational agility is just another set of words for organisational culture. If we have the whole organisation operating in a more agile way, it's got a far better chance of the agile process surviving. So look, just remember these three layers. I know it's a very simplified view of the organisation, but at each of those different layers, agile will look and feel different to each of those players. But what will happen next is, well look, if we're going to do this across the whole organisation, we'll better get some people in who know what they're talking about. Well, that's the consultants, isn't it? They're the experts in delivering Agile transformation, or so I'm told anyway. And the conversation sort of goes along these sort of lines. Go make them agile. Tell those guys out there, be more agile. And the consultant wants to know how much money you have and all that sort of fun stuff. But ultimately, look, there's a big collusion that now goes on here between consultancy house and the middle managers who are the sponsors of this particular project or this transformation piece, which is going to get rolled out across the whole organisation. And there's now a question I have to ask you, because at that point, when the proposal has been presented, you can ask yourself the question, how do you make £10 million disappear? Well, here's very simple. Bring in your own clone army. Play a game of land and expand. Yeah, that's exactly how you will make all that money disappear. But what will you get in return? Well, not very much. But look, it's not the fact of bringing consultants in, it's the fact of what they do when they come in. That's what the issue is. And there's four particular aspects of things that I think we really need to explore if you want to do Agile transformations more effectively. And there's three particular focuses here, or foci I should say. Focus on the frontline teams, focus on the process, and focus on the structures. Look, these are all, if you like, the transactional elements of a change program and are very little to do with transformational elements, i.e. the culture, making all of that change. It's not going to work like this. Finally, that last little bottom bit in the bottom right-hand corner there, change delivered in a non-agile way, means that you get consultants in with non-agile mindsets and middle managers with non-agile mindsets running organisational culture change, in a waterfall way. So, how is this supposed to work? I mean, it's just hugely contradictory and causes many, many, many problems. And here are some of the problems here, and I'm just going to flick through them. I'm not going to spend any time going through them, but you can tell me what sort of things you're experiencing in your organisation right now. So look, what's the alternative? We can do different, can't we? Yes, we can. So rather than starting from the bottom, focusing on teams, focusing on the process and all that sort of fun stuff, how about instead we educate the leaders and the managers in agile culture, i.e. organisational agility, and the agile process, and help them to understand what the difference is between the two, because quite often many of them don't actually know, and they won't take the time to find out. But that's the job of the consultants, to actually go and make sure that people understand and know what it is they're actually asking for, rather than making huge assumptions that they already know, because they don't. Assess the organisation for agile readiness. Look, many organisations rush off headlong into doing this agile transformation thing after running a few pilots, thinking that they're ready to go. But they might have picked the best possible teams to run agile with, as the rest of the organisation might not be ready for it. So in which case, the best possible thing you can do is put agile on hold until you are ready. But there's only one way to find out that, and that's to go and measure. The next thing here is lead from the top. And what do we mean by that? Well, look, that's the culture change. For 90 days, start developing a culture change in your agile leadership team. Yeah, or make them an agile leadership team. Coach the leaders in the mindset and culture change. And once you've done that, then you can move on to those middle managers, helping those guys to get a better agile mindset and helping them with better ways of managing in a more agile way. And finally, co-diagnose and co-design with the whole organisation in mind. That means working with the consultants and the executive team, all sponsoring and working on this together to actually bring agile transformation to the organisation that's going to be most fit for use and fit for purpose. So look, there we are. I've talked really quickly there for 6 minutes, and I'm quite out of breath as a result of that. But look, thanks for your time. And if you want to chat any more about agile transformation and what I do and how I do it, then please feel free to get in contact with me, and I'd be more than happy to share as much of my experiences as you're willing to listen to. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a very good day.